What's up everybody and welcome back to another toy review. Today we're checking out the Foot Soldiers from Steve Barron's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990. These bad boys right here. Man, I am so pumped to open these guys up and check them out. They make amazing army building foot soldiers, and you know what? I do love an army of foot soldiers. Nothing's better than seeing a field just like a squadron of foot soldiers led by the one and only Shredder. And these make amazing, amazing army building foot soldiers. So I am very, very excited to finally open these guys up. Now I already do have a couple of these figures because when they came out, I had to go out and buy them and start my collection. I needed to add them to the Ninja Turtle movie collection. Those guys right there. Here are the ones I bought way long ago. I had to open them up. They look so awesome, but don't worry, we'll get all into them. We'll break them down. We'll get into their paint job, their articulation, their sculpt, just the details, everything about them. Don't worry, I'm gonna break it all down for you guys. But here they are. I have two more in the box ready to add to this collection, and I am so happy. They look amazing. I can't wait to have just a force of them. I'll only have four at the end of this video, and I can't wait to get more. I'm not gonna lie, I might just go on eBay or Amazon and buy as many as I can for the best deal, opened or whatever. I just want a force of foot soldiers, a force of foot soldiers. That's what I want. Now these guys are made by the one and only Neca, the gods of Ninja Turtle action figures. And then Super 7 came along last year and just evened out the playing field. But you know what? We'll get to that in another video. But for now, let's talk about these guys. Now there is a difference between these two action figures despite how similar they look. One has melee weapons and the other one has bladed weapons. But of course, we will get into that when we unbox them and check them out. Speaking of which, are you ready for it? All right guys, let's do it. Foot Soldiers from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, let's go. Alright, and here is the packaging for the NECA Foot Soldiers from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. Now I mentioned earlier that these two foot soldiers look very similar. For the review, I will just be examining one of the foot soldiers because, well, they are the same figure. We don't need to actually look into both of them. With that being said, let's go ahead and check out the packaging. So here we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo straight from the film. And then down here we have Foot Soldier. This is the bladed weapon. Of course, again, the other one says melee weapons. Nickelodeon owns the rights to the Ninja Turtles currently. And here you have your window box, your window screen, where you can see the action figure with the accessories, of course. Let's go to the side panel here. You do have some product shots, some nice poses of the Foot Soldier. They actually look so legit from the film. It is absolutely ridiculous. Just wait till we pop these guys out and you guys see for yourselves. On the back here, we do have, again, more product shots with the Foot Soldiers holding these bladed weapons. And you can see here that the melee weapons do include some nunchucks. I think those are tonfas, but we'll get to those melee weapons when we unbox and check him out. Now down here, there's a little description of the action figure, and I'll go ahead and read that for you guys. Now you can catch America's favorite green teens in their first live-action blockbuster film. After wading in a puddle of radioactive waste, these radical reptiles are transformed into New York's greatest crime-fighting quartet. They get plenty of practice against the Foot Clan, an army of ninjas serving the Shredder. This highly detailed action figure stands 7 inches tall and features 30 points of articulation, including double elbows, so this faithful ninja could carry out his master's criminal commands. And here we have the side panel. That's a beautiful product shot of the Foot Clan. That's actually amazing. That looks freaking absolutely beautiful. So here they are in all of their glory in their packages, and we're gonna take them out right now. Now this is the third time I've unpacked one of these action figures, and I get excited every time. Now this one looks sick. The other two I own have bladed weapons, so it's really cool to see the different weapons and accessories that this one has. I'm really, really pumped. And here they are, the foot soldiers out of the box, and they look absolutely menacing and totally radical, guys. I am so pumped to have more of these in the collection. Like I mentioned earlier, these make excellent, and I mean excellent, foot soldier army builders. And you can see how sick they'll all look together once I have them on display. I am just so absolutely happy with the way they look and the way they turned out. Again, all of these foot soldiers are the exact same, or at least these two are the exact same. So for the sake of this review, we'll only be reviewing this guy, but we will be taking a look at all the accessories that both action figures do come with. My first impression of these guys, and like I've said, I've been able to use these and handle them and play with them for quite some time. I know how awesome these action figures are. For a ninja style action figure, this is one of the best I've ever had, if not the best ninja action figure I've ever had. Everything from the sculpt to the articulation to the paint job, and most of all the accessories, just make this such a powerful ninja. So with that, let's actually get into the details and the sculpt itself. Now, right off the bat, you can see all the wrinkles and the crinkles in his ninja gown and all the loose fabric that is hanging off of him. Now, this is a hard plastic, so that is actually sculpted in there. It's not malleable. You can't move it at all. Actually, the only parts of this figure that are malleable, actually, he does come with two belts. He comes with his plastic belt, as you can see right here, that wraps right around him. And then he comes with this soft goods belt that is a little bit stretchy, so you can actually equip them accordingly like a ninja would. Actually, to be honest, a ninja wouldn't have 10, 15 weapons on him at once. They would probably carry one or two primary, maybe one secondary, and a bunch of accessories or a bunch of smaller weapons and support weapons, shurikens, darts. But you wouldn't see a ninja carrying an axe with some sais, with a bow staff, with nunchucks. When I was a kid, that's how I imagined all my ninjas to look like, but that is not the case here. Now, the other soft and malleable parts on this figure are his wrist guards here. They're basically rubber and you can actually slip them off. This figure actually does come with multiple hands, so when you pop off these hands like this, you can actually slip off the guard like so. I'm gonna put that right back on, stick his hand back on, and like with every other NECA figure that has exchangeable hands, you just pop it off and you can pop it in with the peg there. Now his bandana is a soft plastic that you could bend and fold, and it's not gonna break if you're really rough with it. This figure actually does come with an alternative bandana that you can swap out, which is really cool, but we'll get to that when we talk about the accessories. I do love the details in the mask. They look absolutely stunning. You got the fly eye detail here like they do in the film. Looks absolutely weird, but very cool for this type of action figure. I do love the mouthpiece as well. Very fine detail in there. You have lots of wrinkles in his neck. I know it's really hard to see right now, but the entire figure does have this texture to him. It's like a fabric-y texture. The detail on NECA's action figures is phenomenal, and this toy once again doesn't disappoint whatsoever. It's all there. You can feel it by running your hand on it. You got the detail on the wraps around his ankles and his shins, as well as the wraps around his wrist. There's tons of fine detail even in the hands, little wrinkles in the skin. Let's not forget the detail in the wrist guards. You got the texture, like the chainmail texture on there. Very fine work. Now let's move on to the articulation. We are of course going to start from the bottom up. So with his feet, we do have some really nice articulation in the ankle joint. It is on a ball peg, so you can actually move it left, right, up and down, side to side. So you could get some nice ninja style ankles and feet like that. You know what, he could probably do the splits pretty good. Now, you don't have a swivel cut right here by the beginning of the wraps, the top of the wraps here. It would be really nice if you could swivel that just a little bit, but that's okay. Now, we do have a double jointed knee, which is, of course, always welcome in action figures. And, of course, it is very stiff at first, so you will need to kind of work that in. So it does look a little weird when you're looking at it from the side like that, but you know what, it's totally cool. At least he can do that. That's definitely something you're going to want to do. Now, this is definitely the kind of knee pose you're going to need, no pun intended, for some of these ninja action poses. Like a Naruto run or something, you know, again, very stiff at first, but that's okay. We'll loosen them up eventually. Now, he does have some excellent maneuverability in his legs at the very top here, in the pelvic joint here. You can see that he can do the splits. One of the first figures that can do the splits, no problemo, as a ninja always should be able to do the splits. Now that's my opinion. I need all my ninjas to be able to do crazy splits and just awesome poses. Now his waist can move side to side, which is really nice. It could actually spin all the way. It's just on a ball peg right there. I am really loosening this guy up as I play with him. His waist can move up and down as well. Again, it's on the ball peg. It can't move that much, but enough. Now his arm does have some pretty good movement and articulation, but it is unfortunately blocked off by this shoulder pad, this shoulder blade thing here. You can't really move it any higher than that, but you know what, that's still okay. This is more than enough movement for our foot soldier. He has the double jointed elbow and the swivel in the bicep, which is really nice. And his hands, of course, can spin because you can remove them. And look at that, I just realized that, whoops, that I almost broke the toy. But his forearm does actually have a little swivel there too, so you can spin that and his forearm right at the top of the elbow and at the bottom. That's really cool. His neck can spin all the way 360. Also has some really good movement up and down. Now I did forget to mention earlier about the little foot logo right in the center of his bandana. The sculpt on his bandana has like minor wrinkles, which is just, it's just such a nice touch. So that's it for the articulation. Honestly, it's spot on for a ninja, and I'm glad that the toes don't have, well, a toe cut. Again, like I've mentioned it so many times, I'm not a fan of the toe cut. One of the only reasons why I want the toe cut is so I can actually pose the foot soldier in this kind of pose. Right now he can't stand because he doesn't have that cut. Now let's talk about the paint job on these action figures. You get the red bandana with a nice black wash on there to bring out all those wrinkles and the details. The majority of this figure is gray or like a dark gray, maybe like a smoky gray, with also some kind of black wash on there to bring out all the fine little details. Then you have the brown wraps around his ankles and then his forearms as well. And let's not forget his belt. Let's just take this belt off of him. We have a really nicely painted belt. It's all brown with a little bit of black wash on there with maybe like a dry brush, a light cyan dry brush, just to bring out more of those details. Again, also that is on the wraps of his wrist and the wraps of his ankles. Now the skin tone of his skin is pretty basic. There's no unfortunate wash on there to bring out any of the details. Although his mask does have the most of the coloring on this figure, it is mostly black and flat. Not really any dry brushing or anything that brings out the details, unfortunately, but hey, that's cool. They're supposed to be black ninjas. Now I do think they did a great job coloring his pajamas. Looks absolutely fantastic. Minimal color. But you know what? Like, straight up, that is a ninja. Now, to be honest, if it wasn't for this wash and highlight, this figure wouldn't be that exciting. But because they did such a great job with the highlighting and the washes, you can see all the fine details. It just looks absolutely stunning up close. Even on his eyes here, like, really good wash, really good highlight. Like, he doesn't get any more ninja than that. Alright, now let's talk about my favorite part of any toy, and that is the slew of accessories that we get. Look at all these beautiful accessories. There's more. Look at all this. To go in the pile of foot soldier accessories, and you know what? Just ninja accessories. Oh, look at this. Another one. Here's the accessories from the other foot soldiers that I already own. More accessories. Look at all that. Let's take a look at all of them individually. Now we have the closed fist right out of the packages. We have a weapon or item accessory holding wrist. And you have the open hand wrist. Really cool. I do love that one. So here we go. Let's swap out his hands here. Again, you just gotta pull his wrist out. Watch his arm guard that doesn't fall off. Grab the hand that you want. Put it in there. Let's give him some weapons here. Now we're going to play around with the melee weapons first because I haven't actually used them yet and I'm super pumped. You got the bow staff. That's so cool. Holds it really well. Love it. Now he can easily two-hand that bow staff, which is really nice. Looks really great on him. Let's pull that out. We have the tonfas. That's sick. There are a couple foot soldiers in the film that use tonfas. You do have to look pretty closely, but they are in there. I recently just watched the film because, well, I watch it basically once a month. And yeah, they're in there. They look really cool on this foot soldier. Now, I'm probably not gonna pose them with tonfas. I need bladed weapons or a bow staff or nunchucks. Tonfas, you know what? Like, nah. Now, the size are a little questionable for me because the wrists that we gave this guy are a little bit too loose. Look at this. See, they just slide in and out, right? He's gonna drop them. Right, that's not really appealing in an action figure. So I'd say that the size are more for display decorative purposes. I probably won't pose with them either, even though they are so ninja it hurts. Next up, we have the nunchucks.
Oh, a fellow chucker, eh?
All right, fellow chucker. Look at this. He's actually, that's not bad. What's really cool about these nunchucks actually is they're little chains. They're actually little chains. Now, I can't wait to have him and Mikey posing together. That's going to be so sick. He can do this all day, and it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good.
Keep practicing.
Now, he does actually have two types of nunchucks. The one that we just had on with the chain, and this one that has more of a string, but this is actually, it's not a string, it's a wire. So that's really cool that this figure comes with it. Now, again, the wrists that we have on him are a little too loose. This one won't fall out as easily. I think his hands are made more for the bow staff and for the axe and for the katana, which, you know what? We'll get into the bladed weapons now. The katana looks sick. It fits and feels perfect in his hand. Oh, yeah. Can't go wrong with that look. No way. I feel bad for this one right back here, just like hanging out. All right, how's that look? That looks pretty sick. Let's continue with this guy. Let's look at the axe. Best weapon ever. Everyone remembers this weapon in the film. And that's the last accessory that we have for these foot soldiers. I'm a big fan. Honestly, I'm gonna have all my foot soldiers with either an axe or katana. The axes look just so cool. Now, as I mentioned earlier, these guys do come with that soft goods belt. I wish it wasn't just jet black. I wish I actually had this texture and looked similar to this belt that he has, you know, actually sculpted on there. And that's basically what you're going to want to do with the sides. Just slip them back there. Maybe have the tonfas as well. And here we have a fully loaded foot soldier with all the fixins. You know, just give me all the weapons. Of course, he's never going to travel like this because you can't be a ninja with all these weapons. But you know what? Give them all to him. I'm totally cool with all the weapons. Slip this weird sword in there would never happen. Excellent. He has everything that you would ever want on a ninja. I love it. One thing I actually forgot to bring up and show you guys is the removable bandana. See that? You could just take that one out and put the other one in there. No sweat. Just be careful with it that you don't break the actual peg that goes inside. Honestly, I don't see myself changing those that often. I think I have once just to differentiate the foot soldier bandanas, but honestly, yeah, I'm probably not going to be switching them out. Now, the only issues I really have with this figure are the hands when it comes down to holding the size or the tonfas. Actually, when you hold the tonfas like that, it looks and it feels great. It's not going to fall out of his hand. But when he holds the size, they will slip out really easily. I wish there was other hands that you can possibly pop in there that cater to those weapons. Maybe another set of hands, maybe even one extra hand that caters to the size, and the nunchucks, you know, would have been more than enough. Honestly, besides that, I think he's just a perfect figure. I don't have any issues with it. Maybe more weapons. You can't have too many ninja weapons. Give me some throwing stars. You know what? None of the foot soldiers or the Ninja Turtles themselves come with shurikens. Why not? Throw me. I know they don't use shurikens in the film. What kid or adult doesn't want extra accessories for their action figures? Alright guys, let's compare these foot soldiers with other action figures. Now we have a foot soldier here equipped with the bow staff, so naturally we're going to compare him to Donatello. You can see that the foot soldier is a little bit taller than him, but just by a hair. Donnie does have a lot more thickness to him though, but you know, that's to be expected. He is a hulking turtle. Let's try another Neca Toys action figure. We have the Jason Voorhees. Actually, Jason's a little bit too tall. He's out of frame. But you know what? Jason Voorhees is a tall man. Of course, he's much taller than a foot soldier. He would also destroy a foot soldier, no problemo. Now, for all you Mortal Kombat fans out here, we have the McFarlane Toys Sub-Zero. And they're standing at about the same height, but Sub-Zero does have a lot more chonk to him. He's a much bigger figure overall, but they stand at about the same height. Last but not least, we have the Playmates Foot Soldier. Obviously, this is a terrible comparison, seeing how this guy is slouched over with his knees almost bent at a 90-degree. Sorry guys, this one was just for fun. So my overall opinion on these guys is, well, if you didn't hear it clear enough, I love these action figures. How can you go wrong with a ninja toy? You can't. You just give them a ton of weapons, give them some decent movement, a really sick red bandana with the foot logo, and bam! It looks awesome. I love these toys. I love the sculpt. I love the amount of detail and love and care that went into these guys. Neca, of course, did such an amazing job, as they always do. I have next to no issues or gripes with this toy. Again, besides the whole nunchuck and sai issue with the hands. Honestly, there's nothing more I need to say about these figures. You know, if I was a kid again, I would absolutely want and beg my parents for these action figures. Sure, they're not the Ninja Turtles, but for foot soldiers, you cannot go wrong. They're absolutely ludicrously awesome. These are by far the best ninja action figures I've ever seen, I've ever held, I've ever owned. And I really can't wait to get my hands on more of them. Alright everyone, thanks for checking out my review of Neca's Foot Soldiers from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the movie. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a like, comment down below, let me know if you have this action figure and what you like or don't like about it. Let's start a conversation down there, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're into toy reviews. I'll be posting more photos of these action figures on my Instagram, which you can check out at Claudio_Paola, so follow me there for more content. Thanks again for watching, and you can catch me in the next one.